All right, Pat. Curious to get your thoughts on this. Are you pro or anti throwing bouquets of flowers onto the ice after Marc-Andre Fleury victories?
I can handle it, I guess. I don't know who came up with that.
It's a random guy 2 games ago just brought a bouquet
did
and
they used to do that some other places? Did we think of that?
It's ours.
It's our innovation. This is one of the rare Minnesota sports fan innovations. We just we don't do a lot of this stuff.
Big figure skating thing, of course, in the world. But usually the girls, I guess they end up throwing them, but a lot of times they come over and receive them too. Even what's funny is when they go out there and fall around like drunken sailors, they still have to go over and get their flowers, and they feel like idiots. They
heads cracked open.
They just want to go back in the locker room and cry. They don't want to have to accept these flowers that they richly don't deserve, but they have to do that. I guess that's okay. But here's the problem: it's now going to become a thing. Right, because it always becomes a thing in Minnesota. We can't just say, "Hey, that was funny," and let it go. We gotta now make it into a thing, right? So,
yeah, but we don't have many of those things. Like what do we? Oh, I guess we have the skull champ. We stole that from Iceland. We stole it from Iceland.
We did steal that from Iceland.
Well, and you were told to too,
huh?
So that's not spontaneous. The flowers thing was a guy's idea. The Vikings said, "We're in a new stadium. We should steal something from."
Yes,
so
we do. And then D'Lo had to tell us to stand up at the start of the game.
Right.
We do have to be sort of told
we
what to do.
We did this.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Minnesota.
We follow directions. You give us good directions, and we will follow.
Now, but did we wait till after the game, though, right? When did we do it?
Yes, he was named the first star.
So if he gives up 6, we're not going to do it.
Correct. We're not going to have a problem with flowers being thrown.
Okay. If he wins Game 6 of the Stanley Cup on home ice to win the championship, then cover the ice with flowers. I'm all for that. Boy, did he jack up Cam Talbot, though. Man alive. Cam Talbot goes from we got to get a goalie in here to player of the week for the NHL. So I was going to ask you, did you see McKinnon might have broke his hand?
Yeah.
In the fight with Dumba? Is it official yet?
No. Upper body, I think they're just saying.
The guy can't play. It says, well, it's a hand injury, but we won't tell you what it is. I think we have isolated as a hand injury, not just an upper body, right?
Wow.
I didn't see that, but yeah, I think he busted his hand, and I think he's a complete moron for jumping Dumba.
See, Judd, this is why I've been telling you, fighting in hockey serves a purpose. Okay,
yes.
you can
you hurt your opponent.
If you got a hard enough head, you can break the other team's hand. But they've missed. I don't think Landeskog is playing, and like their big guns.
Gerard.
Their big guns are not playing, and now now if they lose McKinnon, now there's so damn many games left in the season. Even a broken hand, a guy will be back by the time the playoffs come, right? I mean, we've got 6 weeks left, right?
Yeah.
Well, there's a month left in the regular season.
Yeah,
and they can maybe get by without him for a series, maybe, right?
Yeah, probably. Who do we want to play, Nashville or St. Louis?
Nashville.
Less
bring them all on, Pat.
Less firepower, less meanness.
Yeah, but we're not. You know what, Pat? Bring them all on.
Yes, right.
Bring them all on. Delorio kicked their ass. Did you see that old school fight he engaged in last night with Sealer?
No, I turned it over and saw that they were easily and turned it back. The Flyers stink. I didn't want to watch.
The Flyers are terrible, but that was a fight that Al Shaver would have loved to call because there were a flurry of rights. There was blood, and that's an old school fight.
Why were we fighting?
Just set a tone, Pat.
You don't have to set a tone against the Flyers; they suck.
In the NBA, like why on the rare occasion, why are they fighting? Well, one guy kicked the other guy in the junk, and they fought. In hockey, it's like they felt obligated to set a tone, but it was a good fight though. I will give.
Who was the fighter for us?
Nick Sealer. Oh, for us, it was Nick Deloria, the guy that they just got from the Ducks.
Heard of him.
I
didn't even know we had
He's a beaut, Pat. You'll love him.
He's sort of a modern day Jack Carlson, Pat.
So, we went full goon then, huh?
He likes to fight. Yeah.
Is he skating regular shift?
Fourth line.
Fourth line.
Fourth line. Okay. And Nick Sealer, he used to be ours, right?
Eden
Correct.
Prairie kid.
Why do we
Yes.
want to beat him up?
To set a tone.
Okay.
Let's
I mean,
get
I don't know.
I don't know.
Deloria's
But,
been in like 11 fights, Pat. He
how
likes
many games left in this homestand? They're unbeaten on it. What, 6-0?
Pittsburgh.
So,
Pittsburgh on Thursday night, and then we hit the road for 4, I believe.
well, I
Mhm.
thought it was a 9-game homestand.
Yeah,
It
this-
is.
Oh,
It is.
Did they lose the first one then of the homestand? Oh, and then they won 7 in a row.
Yes,
Yeah,
they
'cause
they
it's
lost
7
one
in
early.
a row. Yeah.
They lost to
Yeah.
the Predators, and they've won every game since in the homestand.
Well, they're good. They're good. And now we're good. Now we can goon too. So that's really good for because the playoffs, Phil, you got to be able to goon. If you can't goon,
Well, I feel like goonery. I mean, now goonery is down across the league, but goonery
Yes.
kind of it's not as prominent in the playoffs. Guys don't
Right.
want to take penalties in the playoffs, but
It's the perceived threat of having your ass kicked that scares teams.
yeah, it's nice to have that card in your pocket though.
Yeah.
If you need to play it in game
That's-
5 or something.
And
It's a
Colorado,
Gaulian thing.
they're just a bunch of sissies, right? Didn't you tell me that? They don't goon. They don't even have a goon. Right?
I know they do.
Who?
McDermott,
Oh yeah, him. He's
big
been
time
around
goon.
forever.
Yeah,
He's
no.
been around. Who was their
Colorado's
goon?
bigger.
Who was their goon about 3 years ago? Colorado. They had some crazy. They had some guy completely insane at 3-4 years ago, right? I can't
I'm
remember.
sure they did.
Some
I
guy who
don't
fought
remember.
all the time. That's the only reason they had 11 good players in him who would just get in a fight every once in a while. But I figure there's plenty of hockey to watch here for the 2 months after the season ends. So
I like how we're finding out that you're still a hockey snob. You tune in, it's the Flyers. They've got like 55 points. It's a 3-goal lead. On to Netflix.
I'm done.
Yep.
On to who was Denny on to? I can't remember. Who was Denny on to the next team? Who was
Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay?
Belichick was on to Cincinnati, and then Denny was. Yeah.
Hey, what's this deal I read today though about the salary cap in the postseason doesn't apply?
In hockey, yeah.
For hockey, yeah, it's been a thing.
But Tampa Bay was 18 million over last year during the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yes.
How
Kucherov
does that
came back
work?
last year, Pat, during the playoffs because the salary cap didn't apply, and so it didn't count, and so he could play, and they could be well past the cap. And they talked about
But you
fixing
can't.
it.
This isn't bringing in other guys, so this is just bringing guys off the injured list or something. Right?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Because I thought it was people were making a big issue about it that Tampa Bay was 18 million over, but they decided not to do anything about it. Now, if Ben Myers signs, he can't play right in these playoffs.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
You can play at the end of the regular season, but not in the playoffs. So.
Yep.
Do we have money to sign that kid?
Yeah, they do.
You'd like to sign him.
Well,
because
what you would like to do with like those college hockey guys, Pat, is you would like to give an ATO, which is an amateur tryout, so it doesn't burn their first year of their entry level contract for like the last month of the season, and then his entry level deal would start in the fall. That's what a lot of the college hockey guys end up doing when they sign post NCAA tournament.
So you can play him on the actual NHL club on that arrangement in the playoffs too, or just in the regular?
No.
You
So he
used to
can-
be able to, but not in the playoffs.
Yep.
But
And the amateur tryout would be just in Iowa. So he doesn't
got
come to the big league club to start for the last month, but then
I'm
he's at least
him, I
you're
wanna go
signed
to
and you don't
some-
got to worry about it.
if I'm him, I want to go to some team that wants to probably not make the playoffs and put me on the roster and let me play and give me a real contract. That would be what I would do.
I was told last night that by a very knowledgeable college hockey person that he thinks the Gophers are in, or that the Wild is in the lead to sign him too.
Really?
He said, I think they're going to sign him.
Maybe he's a wild kid. Well,
Like
he's
Judd
a-
works for the Athletic for 5 minutes and has 50 new sources around college hockey and the NHL.
Ushers are telling me stuff. Press box attendants are telling me stuff.
Don't be talking to those ushers. Doogie's got them in his pocket, man. Don't worry about that. All right.
By the way,
we got a good hockey team, that's for sure. And I got I've been a big booster of Mankato's hockey, right? I've gone down there and done stuff on Hastings, and now they're mad at me because I think the Gophers are going to win. And I said that they don't have the firepower they've had the last 2 years 2020, they were great, and the tournament got canceled. They had both great goaltending, great defense, and they had really high-powered offense. Last year, they were really good, as they saw when they beat up our Gophers and beat them 4-0. But they can't do that again, and they don't have nearly as much firepower this year. But some guy tweeted me and said they've had 17 games where they scored 5 or more goals, and or 18 games, and the Gophers have only had 12. Well, you play in the CCHA. I looked it up. I like to refute this stuff. 13 of those 5+ games were against the bottom half of the CCHA, including St. Thomas. If you can't count St. Thomas, okay, that's one. The bottom half of the worst division in West, of the worst conference in hockey, in Western hockey, and probably about the 5th worst in the probably about the 5th or 6th best in college hockey. What you've done against them ain't going to help you against the Gophers. So the Big Ten, I think Wisconsin, Michigan State were pretty bad, but the rest of them, you had 5 good teams in the Big Ten. So
anyway. Who's favored? Michigan?
Yes.
Who's the odd? Michigan?
Slightly.
Yeah.
I think people who watched last weekend would say the 2 Big Ten teams are the co-favorites. Yeah. Michigan. Michigan has got all the hotshot kids, but they're all freshmen too. I mean, they're all young guys. So we have more experience than Michigan. We got Ben Myers. They don't have Ben Myers. So
this is I think I'm reading this right here. This is only the 3rd time since 2005 the Gophers have been to the Frozen Four.
Yeah, they were.
Which I mean, I get that it's not it's not a gimme.
North Dakota beat them in Columbus, and then the Union beat them in the finals, right? North Dakota beat them in the semifinals in Columbus. I was at that one, and then Union with their
26-year-olds
with their 33-year-olds beat them in the final.
I think the last great game that they played against North Dakota was the first game in the Frozen Four in Philadelphia in 2012, and they beat them with a second left.
0.6.
Yeah, and then they played
0.6.
Union in the final and got their ass.
That was 14. That was 2014.
Okay.
Yeah. That was in Philly, and then they played in Tampa.
It was Columbus where what year was that? 9 or so? It's 2009, maybe. I don't know, something like that, where they got.
Well, then they've been more than twice because they were in the Frozen Four in Tampa in 11 or something.
So they were. So here I have the list
2005 is Columbus.
05. They were. So the last time they won it was 03, 02, 03, and then 05. That was like the Barry Talixon team.
Mm-hmm.
There might have been. Was it Vanek? Vanek was 05.
Vanek was there.
Did they lose to North Dakota?
Can't remember who they lost to, but 05 they went 12, 14, and then this year.
I remember that I was there, and they lost to North Dakota, and Dubé was breaking down in tears as they lost the game. We don't get to see
a random drive-by of Jeff Dubé.
No, he was there covering it for radio or something. I don't know, but he was very upset. Very upset in the locker room over there, hugging guys and doing the whole damn thing. Kind of like Paul Allen after his old partner after a Viking loss.
Just consoling,
rubbing
backs.
Showing that tremendous objectivity by weeping.
Speaking of weeping, as a guy who wakes up in the morning and drinks a gallon of Timberwolves Kool-Aid every day, I saw Paul George make his return after 3 months last night. Dropped 33 points and brought the Clippers back from 20 points down.
Did they come back and win that game? They were down 38-17.
Yes, they were down 20, I think, in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah.
And they came all the way back. They won the game. And right now, I mean, the Wolves, the Wolves can still, they'd probably have to win out to move out of the 7 seed. But
they're not getting out.
You're going to get Paul George and the Clippers in that first game in all likelihood.
Well, if you lose that one, then you get the Pelicans probably. And you should be able to beat them at home, shouldn't you?
Some of these people are like, well, what if LeBron and AD? That ship has sailed.
They are now tied with the Spurs.
Yeah,
and I tried to look it up.
Spurs have the tiebreaker.
Why? Because I looked it up, and I think they're 2-2 against each other.
So then it would be Yeah, then there's some other tiebreaker,
not
but
within the division something deal or something. There's
Um,
at this point, but the Spurs have caught the Lakers without even trying. They
I
haven't.
know.
They don't care. They don't care. They want to be in the lottery. This is, Popovich's worst team ever, and they've caught the Lakers. They're so bad. They're getting beat.
Pop just wants to go drink a gallon of red wine after the
Yes.
82nd game.
And then,
He's like,
but they're every night they play, you turn them on, they're losing by 23 in the middle of the second quarter. They're awful.
yeah, did we really need to invite 2 extra teams to a play-in? Like, how about just like an 8-9?
Yeah, no,
Play-in.
we got to get to. It is foolish to say the least. Say I read into I happened to run across a A's exhibition game yesterday, and they're in hot negotiations with Las Vegas to move the A's there too. One of their sites would be the old Tropicana.
Wow.
Right on the Las Vegas Strip there.
That's got to be retractable, right? Otherwise, those guys going to play in 118.
Billion. They say it's going to be $1.2 billion or something, but
Wow.
the state, the city, the county has no interest, I guess. So it would have to be a private. You'd get some public funding, but not. I think they're just trying to bluff Oakland into building them that stadium that they want down on the water. They'd be better off in Vegas, so I think to have another stadium down on the water. Being down on the water in San Francisco, yeah, okay. Being down on the water in Oakland, yeah, you never know what's going to float by down there.
Just
So I
a
don't.
tire and a leg.
It's not exact. Jack London Square used to be okay. I used to go down there once in a while, but it's a very small part of that.
We've been looking for that guy for 30 years. There he goes.
Yeah, it's kind of a backwater.
Hey, go fish him out. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I think if they could get Vegas now, I'm not sure that Vegas would draw extremely well because it's the summer is hot there as it can be, and the visitors aren't going to Vegas. I think the visitors would go to Vegas to watch a football game, right? But if the Twins go play a series in Vegas, 20,000 of us aren't going to get on planes.
You never know in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Huh?
For us, you don't know.
If that's
For us,
if
we might go
if
out
they're going
there
to
and
open the
go.
season in April, crappy weather, catch the tail end of March Madness.
That's true. Meanwhile, Tampa still thinks they're going to figure out a way to play in both Montreal and Tampa.
Are they still doing that?
Yeah, they're still.
Oh, I thought
talking
they
about
put
it.
the kibosh on that. Okay.
Well, the reality of it is, I think baseball would like to see Montreal be one of their 2 expansion teams because they don't really have another. They don't really have another place. Portland is the runner-up for another one. I don't think Portland, with what they've been through since the protests started, probably is not a real hot spot to go for baseball. So.
My favorite thing I've seen on Twitter so far this morning. So Stephen A. Smith is taking the week off first take. He's on some sort of like tropical vacation, just refreshing. But he is live. He's watching his.
Demanding. Do you think if he's on vacation that he could be a bit demanding with the help?
Well,
If
yeah.
he's sitting down there on the beach and they don't respond instantly, that he might they might hear some real heat.
Some complaints. So he is currently this morning. He's watching First Take with I think it's Jay Williams and Brian Windhorst are arguing this morning, and he's live tweeting and arguing with the points that they're making on TV from his Twitter
Can't
account.
stand to not be involved. It's
God bless him.
yeah. Well, he's probably got nice accommodations wherever he's going with his $6 million or whatever the hell he's making.
I think he's up to 9 now. Yeah, he's doing
Is he
pretty
up to
well.
9? That's good. Hey, one other thing I was going to mention, I was trying to look up the Archer. I think I'll call Phil Hughes and ask him about it. But thoracic outlet syndrome, you got to be a real optimist to sign somebody after that who's hasn't been good for 4 years, right? I mean, this Chris Archer thing is hard for me to think that it's going to work out to maybe more than a half dozen starts at a guy throwing 88 miles an hour instead of 96, which he used to throw. They think he's ready to pitch, and he might be in the rotation at the start of the season. That can't be real. I can't imagine. But
So we went from almost trading for Frankie Montas to taking a flyer on Chris Archer, post thoracic outlet syndrome.
yes, well, that's kind of the way it is. Gordon Eads, who's now working for Bally Sports North's national website, doing baseball for them. He retired. He became the Boston historian, but now he's back. Called me last night and asked me how excited the city was, and I said, the Twins about Correa, and I said the Twins are in such PR hell right now that at least in the public commentary, it's they should have gotten a pitcher. We get a $30 million shortstop who's probably the best in baseball, but we should have gotten a pitcher. Damn it! So I said it's not. He's apparently the Twins are spreading the word down there in Fort Myers to visiting media types that the city's really excited about this, and I haven't detected it. I don't know. I guess we'll find out opening day.
Yeah, I think people went from like just sort of in a comatose state with the Twins to like, oh, okay, it's interesting.
That's right. Why didn't they get a pitcher? Cheap Pohlads. Why didn't the cheap Pohlads get a pitcher?
Cheap Pohlads. Can't even spring for commercial-free Pandora in the clubhouse. It's ridiculous.
I see that we got the owners' meetings. Explain to me what overtime is going to look like. It's you each get the ball once, and the clock has nothing to do with it. What?
No, you get the ball. So if in that Bills-Chiefs game now, the Chiefs go down and score, Buffalo gets a possession, and then after that, it flips to sudden death.
And let's say it takes the Chiefs 8 minutes. The clock can't run out on you if it's a 15-minute overtime period.
Because it's playoffs.
But it's a 15-minute overtime period. Don't they stop?
No, in playoffs, you just keep going.
I don't think so.
I think there's a clock, and then they just run another.
They have another second period, a second overtime, don't they?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what you're saying is if the Chiefs do a 15-minute touchdown drive.
Let's say the Chiefs are trying to score. If they run out of time.
Oh, like the entire
overtime, they get the entire possession, I think.
Oh, I didn't read it like that, but
I think that's what I read because the Wilfs voted against it because they wanted there to be a clock.
Okay.
Okay. I didn't read that much into it.
You get the Cameron, they said the Cleveland Buffalo proposal or somebody was to give a team give the other team a full possession even if the clock's running out, which I think is stupid.
In 2010, Pat, the Wilfs actually voted against the rule that was because of their game against the Saints. They wanted you to be able to end a playoff game on a field goal. So they've always been against extending the parameters of rule.
What I read today from Gessling was that Mark Wilf was quoted as saying they were against it because they wanted there to be a clock. In other words, they wanted the 15 minutes to end the period. If the other team has scored, if we've scored a touchdown, the other team's trying to get down the field and score a touchdown. They wanted the game to end at the end of the first overtime. Because they think that the clock is a very important part of football, and I agree with them on. Well, I agree with something with the Wilfs. That's pretty much that's an amazing thing today. Yeah. By the way, if you want to come out and see Chris Voles and 7 great women's athletes from Minnesota tonight at the Mall of America, 5:30. There'll be the 8 of them are being inducted into the Hall of Fame. It's open to the public at the Mall of America Rotunda, and I don't know what being open to the public means. I don't know what. I think it's going to be a fairly informal ceremony, but you could get autographs from. I don't know if Lindsey Vonn's going to be there, Maya Moore, but they're going to be, they're 2 of the inductees, and most of them are going to be there. So
cool, awesome.
What the heck.
All right, Pat. We'll catch up later this week.
All right, thanks, Jets.
All right, there he is, Patrick Royce, rapping with Royce. Every Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. Mackie and Judd, Score North YouTube channel.